Oh, you take that back, Macho Man Randy Savage. Doesn't he make you so mad that you just want to go down there and hit him? Well, maybe not him because he's kind of big, but you just want to hit the guy sitting next to you? Well, not him because he's kind of big too, but you just want to hit his kid? Hey, grab Macho Man Randy Savage.
Boom! Just like that, it's Thursday night. You know what that means. It's party time with the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, and the man beside me, the man with the angelic voice, Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, cheers, brother. How are you doing?
Cheers to you too, Munson. How you doing, buddy? It's another Thursday night. We're here rocking and rolling on Ring Respect Radio. Hey, Munson, I was thinking about something earlier today. How many episodes of this weekly show do you think we have done consecutively at this point
That is
during this current run?
that is a very good question, Papa Smokes. I will have to check into the stats. That is a very good thing for us to look up, and something we need to celebrate. But the run has been consistent now for well over a year, and I can say that with
Oh, yeah.
great pride in what we've done here and what we've accomplished. And we couldn't have accomplished it, without the people who tune in each and every week to Ring Respect Radio, Papa Smokes. They keep coming back for more. They like us. We're crazy just like we are. And speaking of crazy, there's our man, JJ, the voice, Joshua Joseph. A moment with
Yo,
Joshua
Josh.
Joseph. Check it out today. Hey, fellas, how are you doing tonight? And we got, of course,
Well, doing great.
yeah, and we got the brunch buster brother right there up in the house. It's Chris Parrish. Ooh, yeah. In reference to that cool little Macho Man intro that we had at the top of the hour there. We got Bobby Staps up in the house. He's bringing the knowledge of MLW when he says Riley Crow debuted in MLW Fusion tonight for the featherweight division against Janai Kai in a non-title matchup. Definitely going to have to check that out this weekend. I'm going to have a little extra time, that's for sure. And look at this. We've got the two-time Intercontinental International Twitch Trivia Champion of the world and defending because, yes, defended successfully at the last quiz show there in a very, very tight race to the top. We got Melball Collins is up in the house. Melball, how are you doing? Glad to see you here on a Thursday night as well.
Hi, Mel.
Too. We got, of course, the third video bro up here. It's Basser. Say an evening, my boys. Basser, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Man.
Basser's been sending some shirt print ideas here, Papa Smokes. I got those over to you. You're gonna have to let me know what you think of those so that we can get a run of those ready, hopefully for the next Prairie Pro Wrestling show. I think they're gonna look fantastic. And speaking of Prairie Pro Wrestling, before I get to the rest of the comments here, big news there, listeners, viewers, whatever you call yourselves. Hey, we got a guest coming here to Ring Respect Radio in a little segment we like to call the Bro Show, where we interview wrestlers from Prairie Pro Wrestling. And we've got the up-and-comer, recent graduate of the PPW Academy, and the man with the deadliest striking kicks in Prairie Pro Wrestling. I'm talking about your buddy there, Papa Smokes. Morris Walt's going to be joining us next Thursday night here on the show.
Munson, you call him Mr. Morris Waltz because that's what you call a guy that's on his way up, like Morris Waltz is. I'm totally excited for this interview. I have spoken to the man a couple of times briefly, in passing at shows, but I want to get into the meat of the matter. I want to know what he's up to, what his goals and aspirations are in PPW. Let's get into this. I'm looking forward to it.
I think Bobby's looking forward to it as well, too. We got an awesome out of that one. Yes, Morris Waltz is going to be a great guest. I know he's looking forward. I know he's particularly looking forward to hanging out with Papa Smokes there because he's I think there's a bit of a connection there, a bit of that dastardly evilness that lies within you, Papa Smokes, every once in a while. But just to mention, we also got that YouTube defending champion up in the house. It's Chris Parrish area on the YouTube side, our WTF champion. Again, we're going to have that coming up here closer to the end of November for you guys. But yes, of course, we got that going on next week as we also talk a little bit about MLW because we're going to have the tailgate watch-along party coming up for Fightland on the 18th as well. But what we got for you guys tonight, we thought we'd try something new. And if it takes off, maybe we'll make this an every once in a while thing here on Ring Respect Radio as well, too. We're going to crown the first ever Ring Respect Radio Viewers' Choice Champion. And so how this is going to work is I have pre-selected 32 wrestlers that have either competed in MLW in the past or are currently on the MLW roster. I was randomly setting up matches. Randomly. I set up the matches. There was a system to it. So there's matches that exist. There are brackets that exist. And they will take us to a victor here tonight that we will say is the official MLW version of the Ring Respect Radio Viewers' Choice Champion of all time. And man, we got some doozies here, Papa Smokes. I know you haven't seen the matchup the card here yet, but I've got photos here for these matchups. I made match photos for each one of the matchups here tonight.
All right, Munson, and just tell me you've got Mike Awesome in there because that's MLW royalty, former champion, almost an hour as champion.
I put every single former MLW heavyweight champion into this bracket.
All right.
We got Parrish saying, I select the one who defeats the loser of the final, therefore I am the champion. You really like your belts there, Mr. Parrish. Maybe you should be getting yourself back into the ring sometime soon. But yeah, so how this is going to work, we're going to put a graphic up on the screen, at least for the opening matchups, and then from there I'll let you know who the next brackets are. It could happen. Well, we would like to see it. Make it happen. Yeah, he is a tease. But yes, I will put the match graphic up on the screen. You, the viewers in the chat, whether it be live on YouTube or live on Twitch, what we want you to do is give us your winner per matchup. Whoever comes up with the most votes for them between the two will win that particular matchup and move on to the next round, and so on until we crown a final winner. Is Alex Kane on this list? Bomaye, Bobby Stats, of course. Alex Kane is up on this list, along with the entire Bomaye Fight Club up in this tournament. So it's going to be some tough picks for some of you. I know that much for sure. Yeah. Sure. Boo you. All right, well, let's get this party started here with this show. So we're going to our first matchup, and this one could be interesting. Look at it right there. We've got Shane Douglas taking on Willie Mack. Shane Douglas and Willie Mack. And you know what? Everybody in the chat can vote. And Papa Smokes, I'm also going to count your votes per each. But tell us what a little knowledge, if you can, just quickly on these two gentlemen.
Well, what a cool matchup this is. I'm not even sure if these guys were wrestling at the same time, but Shane Douglas, famous for his work throughout NWA and WCW, and then Willie Mack has been one of the massive guys on the independents for a long time. We've enjoyed a couple of his matches in the last year in MLW too, and I like he's got an entertaining but a smash mouth style as well. Do you want my vote now? I'm going with Willie Mack on this one.
Going Willie Mack on that one. All right. Well, we've got some votes in from the chat so far, and it would appear that the chat is going the way of the franchise, Shane Douglas. So it looks like in a 3-1 victory, we are going to close the voting on that one. But yeah, Papa Smokes is freeing Willie. He's trying to anyway. But it looks like you're outvoted.
The camera's not lower. Yeah.
Yeah. Outvoted on this one, though, Papa Smokes, because Shane Douglas will be the choice to go on to the next round. But who will?
All right.
Who will his opponent be? Well, we will find out, because our next matchup on this list is also another former MLW World Heavyweight Champion against somebody a little bit more current to the MLW roster. Right there, we're talking about Satoshi Kojima, and he's going to be taking on the heavyweight hustle, Kelvin Tankman. Kojima, yes, was the second ever MLW World Heavyweight Champion. So there, take that for what it's worth. Anything about these two that you want to share there, Papa Smokes? And chat, get your vote in for who you want to win this one. I can see Melball's excitement. I already know who she's going to pick on this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to go with on this one. I like Tankman to a certain extent, but I'm more feeling Kojima in this situation. He's got a nice pedigree of wins and such in the past in Japan and America. So I'm going Kojima.
Well, it looks like, Papa Smokes, you're going to be on the side of the popular vote here. Unfortunately, Parrish outvoted, picking Kelvin Tankman, but it seems the rest of the chat going the way of Satoshi Kojima, the former champion. So that means that in the next round, Satoshi Kojima will be taking on the franchise Shane Douglas. That'll be coming up later as we unveil more of the bracket here for you guys. All right, so we got, let me check out for the graphic of this one. Here we go. And the Papa Smokes was waiting for it, so here it is. Mike Awesome is taking on Sam Adonis in round number 1. So let us know who you got between Mike Awesome and Sam Adonis. And Papa Smokes, you're a fan of Mike Awesome, I take it.
I am, for sure. I'm also a fan of Sam Adonis. I'm sorry that these two meet so early on, but I'm going Mikey all the way.
That seems to be so far where the chat's going, but we'll see if any more votes come in. Make it either way. Mike Awesome for me. Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome. It seems to be an awesome night all around here going. I think we've been outvoted either way anyway. So Mike Awesome getting the popular vote here. And the fans have spoken, Papa Smokes. The former champ is moving on to round number 2. But not discrediting Sam Adonis at the same time. Adonis is a great one as well.
I like him a whole bunch. Yeah, I like him a whole bunch.
And Paris saying, I'm picking baby brother of Corey Graves. Just kidding. Yeah. I'm thinking Mike totally reeks of awesome. Great selection, everybody. Great selection. So the next round, we've got this one right here. Another former champion in Steve Corino, as he's taking on Johnny Fusion, a.k.a. John Hennigan, in round number 1 here. Who do you got between Steve Corino and John Hennigan? Papa Smokes, who takes the edge in this one?
It's a tough one. I like both these guys to a certain degree. I'm not sure which one to pick. I almost think, I'm going with Johnny Nitro.
All right, fair enough. But it looks like you may be on the opposing side here, Papa Smokes, because it seems like the fans are in favor of Steve Corino on this one. So again, the classic guy going over the young one. So Steve Corino is going to be moving on to the next round. That means the Mike Awesome and Steve Corino is now a second round matchup. So to have to vote on that one, you guys. You guys set it up. So that's what you're getting. But there is some other doozies coming up here too. And Bob Smokes, we might have a little bit of an attachment to this particular matchup in a way that might make, especially your vote, a little bit biased. Right there, another round 1-1. We got Shane Strickland, a former MLW champion, against Lance Atawahi. Who do you got in this one, Papa Smokes, or do I even need to ask?
You don't need to ask. I don't mind Shane Strickland, but no way. I'm going with my bro, Lance Atawahi, the whole way. And didn't we have an awesome time interviewing him? I'll always stand up for the cool guys that we interviewed that were nice and professional on our show.
I agree with you too. I know my vote's not counting, but that doesn't matter. So, this is interesting here. I don't think we have any more other votes going in, and if that's the case, in a very, very close, our closest matchup yet, this is going to be a 3-2 vote, and by a narrow margin. Papa Smokes, your vote managed to get Lance Atawahi over, and so our boy Lance Atawahi going over the former champion and moving on to the second round of this tournament. But who will he face? Oh, man, I've got a
Swerve just got swerved.
Swerve got swerved. You're damn right about that. His vote. Yes, Parrish, you were the third. Oh, yeah, I was trying to get some props to Papa Smokes and his boy here. So, this is rigged. It is not rigged. It is not. It's fair and square, Mr. JJ. Come on, brother. We got a cool one coming up. So we got another former champion. You'll notice a bit of a theme here with the former champions off the hop. But speaking of former champions, both of these two former MLW champions in a sense. We've got former MLW world champion Low Ki taking on the young GOAT, former MLW 3-time middleweight champion and the only multi-time champion in MLW history, Myron Reed. Papa Smokes, where are you going with this one?
Oh, God. I need time. Once again, I like both these guys a bunch. I want to give the young GOAT the vote, but in later rounds, if Mike Awesome is an opponent, we're going to need the skills of Low Ki. I'm going with Low Ki. Damn it, I'm going with Low Ki.
All right, so it's round 5 points straight for Low Ki, so he takes this one cleanly over the.
Everyone else voted for Low Ki.
You bet. That was a full Low Ki voting right across the board. So Low Ki won this one by a landslide, Papa Smokes. So you were on the right side of the vote. Now
we're all scared to vote against him. I've seen what he does to guys he doesn't like.
Now I know we haven't seen a comment in a little while from Melball Collins, but I'm sure her interest in the show is about to pick up because this next round features Filthy Tom Lawler against TJP. And apparently I don't know how to spell Tom when I've had too many joints when I go to make the graphics. But Tom Lawler and TJP, what a matchup. Who do you got in this one, Papa Smokes?
Everybody that used to listen to our Fusion reviews knows I like TJP a whole bunch. Not maybe as a guy, but as a wrestler, I like him in the ring a whole bunch. But there's no way I'm going against my man, Filthy Tom. One of the best fighter transitions into wrestler that I've seen, and with such a huge and funny personality.
Parrish saying he picks Tom Lawler because, of course, I didn't know how to spell. And then we had a vote for TJP. Sorry, Pop Smokes. I blanked because I was drinking beer. What was your pick again?
Lawler.
Lawler. Okay, so we got 2 Lawler, 1 TJP. Now we got 2 Lawler, 2 TJP because Melball turning on the man in the Daisy Dukes there and rounds up for TJP. But then it looks like Tom Lawler going to take it after all because Bobby and Chris Best coming in, and they're going to make it a 4-2 vote for Filthy Tom Lawler. Yes, Mel is cheating on Filthy Tom Parrish. It is a crushing day when we find these things out. But yes, it's going to be Filthy Tom moving on to round number 2 here, Papa Smokes.
I thought Tom had won over Mel a little bit when they met in person in Edmonton, but apparently that's not the case. She's staying with that disdain.
She's still a massive TJP fan is what it comes down to. I'm a free agent. There's no cheating. I like the free agent. That's a nice choice of words there, Mel. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So we got up next. This will be a doozy. 2 big men beating the shit out of each other. We got Jacob Fatu versus L.A. Park. Papa Smokes. I think I know where you're going with this one, but I want to hear from you. I want to know. What do you think?
Yeah, once again, I like both guys, but I'm going to have to go with Fatu in this one. L.A. Park has had his day. He's had many days in the spotlight. It's time now for Jacob Fatu.
Fair enough. We got Fatu coming from Papa Smokes. Going to wait for some more votes there. We got Chris Parrish coming in, also saying Jacob Fatu, and apparently he's just trying to crush Melball there in the chat. It's a little rude there, Parrish. Come on, smart enough.
I could act surprised.
Chris, it's Fatu, not Fatty, man. It's now this is rude. Come on, you can't call the Samoan werewolf Fatty. Come on here, dude. Fatu, yeah, there we go. I'm not Eddie Rude. Oh, yeah. What a blast. But it does seem like Jacob Fatu is going to pick up the win here. So, yeah. Anyway, Jacob Fatu, man, you guys are crazy in the chat. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's the most fun part about Ring Respect Radio is you, the fans, the viewers. We absolutely love keeping that chat active and fun. Yeah. Bobby's rolling on the floor laughing as usual. We've done our job. Bobby Stats, glad you're having a good time.
So someday we have to do like Elon Musk and release the uncensored chat files, like just for all of our entertainment, right? Like everything that you wouldn't read or wouldn't show on the air.
No, because that's just a lot of videos of me drinking and getting stoned behind the scenes that we don't want to be watching. So it's all good. We don't need that released, Papa Smokes. So yeah, so we got one half of this bracket done and dusted. So that means that again in the next round we will see Shane Douglas taking on Kojima. We will see Mike Awesome taking on Steve Corino, Lance Anawahi taking on Low Key, Tom Lawler taking on Jacob Fatu, and we got BDJ up in the house now joining us. BDJ, we are picking wrestlers for our Ring Respect Radio Viewers Choice Champion, and it's based on MLW wrestlers from past to present. I'll give you the bracket. You let me know who you think is going to win that matchup, and then eventually we will crown a winner. We are on the second half of those brackets right now. And Papa Smokes, this one might be a hard one for you and I, because on one half, I think we know who would be the winner and who logically is the winner. On the other half, it's one of our boys again. I got Bud Heavy versus Alexander Hammerstone in round 1 of this tournament. I want to know, Papa Smokes, where's your heart at on this one? What are you gonna do? It's Hammerstone. It's Bud Heavy.
Oh my God. How do you do this, Munson? You can't put those two against each other in the first round. That's just preposterous. Well, I go with my head or my heart, Munson. Everything in my life, I go with my head, but on this one, I'm going by the Heavy. I gotta go by the Heavy. I love him. Great guy.
Good. Yeah, I would have too. Again, my vote not counted, but BDJ also would have gone with Bud.
Yeah.
Oh snap! What did I miss? Dare Amazing. We are doing the Ring Respect Radio Viewers Choice Championship. So we have a tournament bracket of MLW wrestlers past and present that we are having to take on. You get to vote for who you think is gonna win. And then Alexander Hammerstone equals Bud Light. Mel saying the one with all the muscles. I want to believe that's Bud Heavy, but I'm pretty certain that that's Alexander Hammerstone. And of course, Parrish, Josh, both for Hammerstone, Chris Best, Bobby. I mean, logically, Hammerstone was always going to win this. I had to throw Bud in the tournament because he's our boy. Bud Heavy, cheers to you, brother. And anybody who wants to, go support Bud Heavy. He's a good fucking dude. He'll take losses all day and still entertain every single one of us out there. Anyway, we got a bit of a big boy matchup in this next one. This one is, I think I know where you're gonna go, Papa Smokes. I'm in fact 99% certain where you're gonna go on this one, but didn't make it easy for the current champ, Mr. Bull Maye, friend of the show, friend of Bustin' Out, friend of OLE. We're talking about the suplex assassin Alex Kane taking on the Judge, EJ and Duca. Two guys who started in MLW relatively at the same time, and Duca was pushed to the top, didn't quite capitalize on that championship opportunity like Kane did, but Duca has gone on to some recent appearances with the AEW more regularly.
Yeah, looking good. Again, like we always knew that Nduka looks so good on paper, and his presentation is awesome, but he's never really just taken that next big step to superstardom. I'm not sure what it is. He seems like a hardworking guy and all that, but I'm not completely convinced yet. I'm going with Alex Kane on this one.
Pretty. I mean, I think we know that Kane kind of taken an advantage because of his friendship and everything with our program and stuff like that too. So I think a lot of people who have viewed and seen the programs that we've had Alex Kane a part of and heard us talking so positively about him that would be the case. In that situation, yes, the other one looks small. Realistically, he'd get stomped. And EJ, they are usually tough. And going on.
That's true.
Anyway, but it does look like, despite some love for the Judge, it looks like Alex Kane taking the big W in this one. So we have got, get this, former champion Alexander Hammerstone, who dropped the belt to Alex Kane on actual MLW, are going to be taking on each other in the next round of this tournament. So we will get to that very, very shortly as we come up to the next one. And maybe not a lot of people know that this guy was in MLW prior to heading over to somewhere a little bit bigger than that. But we also got someone who did work for the big guys, who's worked his way down to MLW. First round matchup, we've got MJF taking on Snitsky. And that's Snitsky without the T because we don't want to get copyright infringement here. But yeah, that's an interesting first round matchup, Pop Smokes. Who are you going with on this one, and why?
Another one that's mildly hard to pick. I'm one of the very few somewhat Snitsky fans left out there. I remember watching his run live and getting a kick out of it. He had some low-level heel charisma of some sort, but I mean, obviously we got to go with MJF with this one. He's the man. He's pretty much established himself as the top heel or one of the two top heels in the whole business right now. So the talent and the hard work is just there. Going MJF with this one.
And it's pretty much across the board, other than Bobby Stats giving a little love to Snitsky, but everybody else picking MJF. So MJF pulling off the victory over the big man, the legend Snitsky. So we got one. I really missed this next competitor in MLW. Don't think his story was ready to come to a close when it did, but hoping bigger things for him. And again, another guy who could be on his way out of MLW very, very soon, as of the 18th, Pop Smokes. We got Richard Holiday, Mr. Rarefied Air himself, taking on old Manser, Mance Warner, 1-on-1 in this first round. Who you got on this one and why?
Very cool. Both with long histories in the MLW. Mance, a couple of runs, and Holiday, one good long one. I like Manser. I think he's built for MLW. He's a standby there and everything, but I'm impressed by the promo and the presentation and the ring work of Holiday. I'm breathing rarefied air tonight, Munson. I'm going Richard Holiday.
All right. Well, you're not alone, because as Paris said, Green Day sang a song about this man, and he picks Holiday. We got Bobby saying Holiday as well, too. And we got love for Richard Holiday from Chris Best. Waiting to see if a few more come in here just to see if the scales get tipped, but it is very much leaning towards a Holiday clean win here in this first round. So, yeah, I think we're pretty much going to come to an end here. Anybody else wants to get in there? I only have seen Manser, guy in the suit, looks like a bit of a douche, but that's the appealing part about Richard Holiday. He's that slappable, arrogant little man. Well, not little man. He's actually a well-built physique on that man there. But yeah, he's gonna. You kind of want to slap him, but you kind of like I don't, because he's gonna kick my ass if I do try to slap him.
I like the way he always threatened everybody by saying I'll tell my lawyer / father.
Yeah, his lawyer / father is probably going to come sue us for using his likeness on Ring Respect Radio as well, too. But I think we're going to throw that win over to Richard Holiday, as the fans seem to have gone that direction. So Richard Holiday is going to be having to go up against one of his former Dynasty teammates in the form of MJF in the next round of this tournament. Paris saying he may kick your ass, but if he's not chewing bubble gum, then I'm not picking him. Well, I mean, sometimes you're just all out of gum there, Mr. Parrish. And there's only two things to do, and that's chew gum and kick ass. Moving on to the next matchup of the night. We only got, looks like 4 more here in round number 1. So this one, again, going to be an interesting one, as we've got Harry Smith taking on Beaumaye's O'Shea Edwards. Curious to know, with the Battle of the Big Men, Papa Smokes, who are you going with?
Damn. Not sure about that. Smith has been a standby. He's done many runs in MLW. He's been a steady and sturdy talent for them. I really like O'Shea Edwards, so I think I'm going with Edwards. Let's mix it up a little bit here. I'm going O'Shea Edwards.
All right, you got O'Shea Edwards. We seem to be getting a lot of love for Harry Smith, especially from the Canadian crowd. Not a surprise there. A lot of people who know him personally as well too, including Chris Parrish there, who not that long ago sat right across the very locker room from Harry Smith himself. But yeah, a lot of love for Harry Smith coming from the chat. I believe we're going to have to say you're a little bit trumped on this one, Pop Smokes, and maybe next time will be O'Shea's time to shine. But today it's going to be Harry Smith moving on to the next round of this tournament. All right, you want a big boy match, Papa Smokes? You want a couple of real violent killers inside that ring? Well, I'm giving you that. I've got that for you, because I got Killer Kross taking on Mods Kruger in a round 1 matchup here. I know you're going to think I'm a son of a bitch for doing this to you, Papa Smokes, but who you got and why?
Another tough one to pick. I like this big man match. I was hoping Mods Kruger would show up in this, and hell, I'm going to pick him. Let's bring a little bit of that unorthodox and unpredictable kind of style to the next round. A little dash of the supernatural as well.
Pear's trying to get me to put things on screen that I shouldn't, so I'll skip that one. We got Cross, so that will work. Killer Cross. Yeah, it's looking like you might get trumped here, Bob Smokes. What might have to do just with Killer Cross's ability to have crossed on over to some of the bigger companies here, including the WWE.
He's popular.
But, he really is, and hopefully WWE learns to do something better with him, or else MLW is going to get him back for a third round. But we're going to have him back for a second round because now Killer Cross moving on, and he's the one that's going to be taking on Harry Smith in the next round of this tournament. 2 more matches to go, and this one I know this is going to be a little divisive, I think, in the chat on this one because some of us have a connection, but we're also throwing in somebody who's legendary and big and definitely outsizes his opponent in this one. But I'm curious to know who you got when King Huertas takes on our boy Jay Bougie in round number 1 of this tournament. Papa Smokes. I know I'm just making this tough for everybody.
I know these are all tough choices. I forgot how many of these former MLW guys that I still feel fond of kind of thing. I don't know. I'm gonna go with a little youth and a little speed here. I'm going with Jay Bougie.
Hey, well, you seem to be on the side of the popular vote so far because outside of our boy JJ, we're going with King Huertas. Again, King Huertas, awesome, had a phenomenal impact on MLW.
I like him.
Jay Bougie's our OLE boy here, you know, like he came on Busted Now. We had a great time. Yeah. One of the best shows that Parrish and I ever got to do was hanging out with Jay Bougie, and now he's kicking ass and taking names over there in MLW as part of the Beaumaye Fight Club. Fits in perfectly. He's a mouthpiece. He's full of excitement, and he's moving on to round number 2 in this here tournament. Glad that the chat picked him. Nothing against King Huertas, but that's our boy Jay Bougie moving on to ring 2. But he could be coming up some interesting competition, and I know this one's gonna be an easy pick for Papa Smokes because when you got a best friend in the matchup, you know you're just going to pick your best friend regardless. And the personal best friend of Papa Smokes, Mr. Thomas, is going to be taking on Matt Cardona in round number 1. Now, I know you might get outvoted here, Papa Smokes. I have a feeling, but I think I know where you're going here.
Oh, you totally know where I'm going. When you have a close personal friend in the race here, I'm totally going with him. I'm not overly into Matt Cardona, so this one's a no-brainer for me. Mr. T, baby.
There we go. Mr. Thomas getting the love from Mr. Papa Smokes. Always looking out for a best friend there. That's right. But we got Matt Cardona as the selection from Chris Best. So we're tied right now. As you know, there's a little bit of fight in Mr. Thomas here, despite going up against the most popular man on the independent scene, Matt Cardona. Again, I agree.
Help us out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, where are those other votes coming in? Who knows?
We gotta solicit some votes here.
Yeah, we gotta get those votes in so we can finish up the first round here. We got 1 vote, Matt Cardona, 1 vote, Mr. Thomas. We need some more votes in order to make sure we pick a winner here.
Bobby,
no, Parrish coming in. He's trying to he's kicking you right in the face here, Papa Smoke. Whoa, you know it. That seems to be a 2 to 1. I don't know. Is anybody else going to vote? Oh, look at this. Bobby Stats coming in. Oh, we're at 3 to 1 now. Oh. You're getting absolutely outnumbered here, Papa Smokes. I have a feeling that your good personal friend, Mr. Thomas, might be all but done and dusted in round number 1. Again, any love for Mr. Thomas? I'm thinking it's only coming from the side of the Video Bros on this one, unfortunately. So we're going to declare it. Referee calls it. Mr. Thomas is done. Matt Cardona moving on, but Matt Cardona in the second round going to have to take on our one of our boys again, Jay Bougie, in round number 2. So just to recap, the other side of the brackets here, we're going to have Hammerstone versus Kane, MJF versus Richard Holiday, Harry Smith versus Killer Cross, Jay Bougie versus Matt Cardona. So going to the other side, round 2 brackets. Here's the next matchup that you guys get to vote on. Of course, I don't have graphics for all the rest of the matches, so you're just going to have to deal with me letting you know who that is. What is this here? I love Mr. Thomas, but the one who's with In My Voice, Chelsea Green. Okay, fair enough. But yes, we're going to start with the next round 2 matchup here for you guys. Shane Douglas taking on Kojima. That is our set round 2 matchup. I need to know from the chat who you got in this one. And Papa Smokes, let me know who you pick between these two gentlemen.
I'm still going Kojima in this one. I'm not sure. I'm not a Shane Douglas guy particularly.
We got we got Kojima from Papa Smokes. We got Bobby Stats saying Shane Douglas. Then Melball tips in the way of Kojima. We got Chris Best coming in with Kojima. Paris saying because he was my dean in high school, I select Shane Douglas. It's a 3-2. This is a close call. Is there any other votes out there? I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds to see if you can tip this the other direction. But if not, we're going to have to declare it. I'm calling it right there, you guys. That's going to be it. Kojima moving on. Barely moving on to the next round here. So Kojima is going to be seen in round number 3. Up next, we've got Mike Awesome versus Steve Corino. So chat, Mike Awesome, Steve Corino. Who do you got moving on in this one? Papa Smokes, let them know. Who do you got going on in this one?
Mike.
Mike Awesome coming from Papa Smokes. We got Chris Parrish coming in saying Steve Corino. So we got a little bit of a tie going on. Oh, boy. Steve Corino getting another vote. Bobby Stats is on your side, though, Papa Smokes. He's back with you. Oh, we got Melwell's on your side, too. We've got the scale has been tipped. It's 3-2. Is anything else going to come in? We will wait a couple more seconds, see if anyone else wants to get a vote in. Otherwise, we might have just tipped the scale for Mike Awesome at the last dying seconds. And we're calling it right there. Mike Awesome, by a 3-2 vote, is moving on to the next round. That means the Mike Awesome is going to be taking on Kojima in the 3rd round of this one. Selfish, says Chris Parrish. Oh, you're sad because Corino didn't pull it off. It was close, man. It was a good match. It's one of those good back and forths. You know, you can't go wrong. It was exciting. All right, moving on. Moving on to the next matchup. We got our boy Lance Anoa'i taking on the former MLW champion Low Ki. Who do you guys got in this one? Do you got Lance Anoa'i or do you got Low Ki? Papa Smokes. I'm not making. I could see the stress on your side, brother. Who do you got?
I think the road is going to be difficult from this point on, and we need a warrior. I'm going with Low Ki again.
Fair enough, Papa Smokes. Fair enough. We do have votes coming in, a lot of them in favor of Low Ki. We do have love for Lance Anoa'i coming from Chris Best as well, too. And again, you know, shout out to Lance, one of our good friends, one of the guys who took the time to be with us here on Ring Respect Radio. Loved every minute of that interview as well, too. But unfortunately, it's not Lance's day to move on in the tournament, as Low Ki, the Warrior himself, is going to be moving on to the next round. We're going to have a really tough bracket on this side. And you guys have a very tough selection picking Low Ki's opponent, because we've got up next Filthy Tom Lawler taking on Jacob Fatu. So who do you got when it comes down to Filthy Tom and Jacob Fatu? Chris Best saying he gave Lance a sympathy vote. Well, I'm sure he would appreciate it there. But yeah, Papa Smokes, Tom Lawler or Jacob Fatu?
Well, I've seen these two wrestle, and when I saw them, Fatu won the belt off of Lawler, so I'm going to have to go with Fatu.
All right. Bobby saying he's going with Tom Lawler, but Melball agreeing with you on the Fatu side. She's really looking to put Tom Lawler out of this thing pretty quick. Chris Best going with Fatu, so we've currently got a 3-1 vote going on here. Anybody else looking to get that vote in, let us know if you want to pick Filthy Tom Lawler. We got Chris Parrish, I think, putting the nail in the coffin there with a 4-1 vote as he comes in with Jacob Fatu. So I think we're going to officially call it right there. Jacob Fatu moving on to the next round as he takes on Low Ki. That is going to be a cool matchup. Waiting to see what you got there. BDJ did come in the last second saying Filthy Tom, but still not enough to save Tom from the inevitable 3 count put on him by the big man, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. So we got on that side of things, we're talking the quarterfinal matchups. We got Kojima and Mike Awesome, and then Loki and Jacob Fatu on that side of the bracket there. Looking pretty solid, chat. Liking what I see. Let's head on over to the other side of the bracket where we got a lot of the more current up-and-coming superstars of MLW or professional wrestling in general. So up next, we've got Alexander Hammerstone taking on the current MLW heavyweight champion and friend of the show, friend of OLE, Bullmaya himself, the suplex assassin, Alex Kane. Papa Smokes, where are you going on this one?
This is a tough one. I think I'm going to have to go with Alex Kane.
Fair enough. Melball's still going with the muscle one, so I believe that she liked what she saw from Mr. Hammerstone there earlier in the night. But we do have some love coming in for Alex Kane, following your footsteps there, Pop Smokes. Bobby Stats likes him some Boom YA. So does Chris Parrish, of course. How can you not when he took that time to make that call into Bustin' Out, and he's been on Ring Respect Radio. Too hard to choose, but I got to go with Kane. Yes, we're making it stressful as we go along here, Chris, but yes, Kane did manage to be the one to conquer the Alexander Hammerstone run as the MLW World Heavyweight Champion there. So, yeah. Fucking Parrish. Anyway, we're going to say that Alex Kane moving on to the next round of this card. Yeah, okay, Parrish, that's funny, but no. Anyway, next matchup we've got for you guys, two former Dynasty members in the form of MJF taking on Richard Holiday, Mr. Rarefied Air. Papa Smokes, who do you got in this matchup?
Ooh, this is another tough one to pick. I'm going to have to go with a man that's currently a world champion in wrestling, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Fair enough. Vote from you for MJF. We got a vote in from Bobby Stats on
nice
Richard Holiday, but yeah, Parrish picking MJF. We got MJF here. Getting a little bit of the bra coming on, but I think that was probably more directed at Parrish. I'm pretty certain of that. And because Melball picking MJF, and it looks like MJF going to be taking the big win here in this one, getting the victory over his former teammate, Richard Holiday. That means that Alex Kane and MJF, a match that has never yet been done in history, is going to take place here on the Viewers Choice Championship Tournament. Looking forward to that coming up in the quarterfinals. Up next, we got Harry Smith taking on Killer Kross. Who do you guys got when it comes down to Harry Smith and Killer Kross? Pop Smokes, a couple of big men here. Who do you got going over in this one?
I don't know. I like both guys. I respect both guys. This is a good, skilled shooter, big man match. Kind of, I think maybe I might go with Smith.
All right. So Smith, we got Parrish coming in based on my same reason above. I choose Kross. So we won't go back to said reason, but fair enough. Killer Kross. It seems like Killer Kross really got that form of popularity with the work that he's been doing. Again, he's got that menacing look. And as Parrish said, his entrance has some great things about it that is really good. Oh, you're just gonna flat out just call him Scarlett's husband at this point, eh? Like he's reduced down to the number 2 in this situation. But it looks like he's coming out as number 1 as the victor in this matchup. Killer Kross is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals.
I was going to ask if Scarlett was part of the package. That might have changed my vote a little bit.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, there you go. We got up next Jay Bougie and Matt Cardona in the next round. Papa Smokes, I think based on your fandom towards either one of these guys, I know which way you're going to go. And I think Parrish is thinking the same direction. Who are you going with on this one?
Well, yeah, sometimes I think Cardona's convinced me so much of his heelness that I actually don't like him. So I'm definitely going with Jay Bougie on this one. Cool guy, up and comer, sky's the limit.
Well, so far we got 2 to your vote and 2 others for Jay Bougie. Chris Parrish, Chris Best, both picking Jay Bougie. Matt Cardona being picked by Bobby Stats. If anybody else wants to get in on this one, I'll give it another few more seconds to give me an answer there in the chat. Otherwise, I think we've we might have to declare, like, look at this. Jay Bougie really going on a bit of a run in this tournament, making it all the way to the quarterfinals, possibly. Mel, you don't know who Jay Bougie is? Jay Bougie was one of our esteemed guests on Busting Out. This is the massively awesome shoe collecting, kick-ass, Beaumaye Fight Club, recent recruit, Jay Bougie. But forgiveness. I will forgive you on this one, but it's okay. You're still going with woo woo woo. Fair enough. But Mr. Chelsea Green, but bros before. Fair enough. Yeah, that's right. Jay Bougie is a bro, and that's because he came on the show. It came on Bustin' Out. He came on the show. So Jay Bougie moving on to take on Killer Kross in the next one.
Jay Bougie's also a good follow on Twitter. He's quite entertaining.
He is very entertaining there. So yeah, check out Jay Bougie over on that. I believe it's the X now, isn't it? The Elon Musk's X division. But yes, he is a shoe collector. In fact, Parrish forced him to give his Mount Rushmore of shoes on Busting Out, and he was slightly offended because he didn't want to talk too loud and allow the other shoes to feel offended by his selections. So.
Do you ever think that?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Do you ever think that Elon Musk should have an ultimate X match versus Mark Zuckerberg?
Yes, he should.
You see them climbing on those ropes at the very top there.
Now that's all. Now you're making me think that we should be creating a tournament full of just all these like rich money makers of all these different technologies throughout the years. We'll throw in a few of them into the next tournament.
Podcast hosts, maybe. Yeah.
Bro means busting right out. Bobby Stat saying, I like the indie god Matt Cardona, but respect Jay Bougie. But yeah, I know you didn't force him. You just pushed him in the right direction to make those selections, because he had to have favorites. I mean, who doesn't have favorites when it comes to a collection? You're gonna have stuff that tops your list, and Parrish is just enough of a journalist that he gets through to people to make them make the hard decisions just like that. And that's why you should check out Bustin' Out this Sunday with myself and my brunch buster brother, Chris Parrish. Shameless plug, I know, but it was fun. Anyway, we're moving on to the quarterfinals of this here tournament. It's been a lot of a good time so far. Yeah, you're funny, Parrish. Nope. I'm glad I screen your questions, brother, because every once in a while, those things, they not quite there for the level I want on Ring Respect Radio, because it's kind of a PG-17 show. I know I'm making shit up.
17-year-olds that are watching this.
Yeah, I mean, any younger than that, man, you must be a terrible fucking parent to let them be listening to this shit. Anyway, quarterfinal matchup. We got Kojima and Mike Awesome. Who do you guys got going to the semifinals between Kojima and Mike Awesome? Papa Smokes, your thoughts on this one?
Been a nice run, Kojima, but you're going down. You're getting Mike Awesome power bombing people and cashing checks all day long, baby.
All right, well, you're not alone on that one, because we got Mike Awesome being picked by Chris Parrish as well, too. Mel, you might be outnumbered this time. So far, anyway, it's a 2-1 vote. Mel picking Bread Club, which means she's picking Kojima. We got another vote coming in for Mike Awesome. We got one from Bobby Stats going Kojima, but that does make it 3-2. Do we have any other votes? I'll give you a few more seconds. Kojima elbow drop CM Punk in the balls. Your argument is irrelevant. Well, you could say it was an awesome moment in time. And right now, unfortunately for Kojima, his night has ended. And that means the Mike Awesome is officially moving on to the semifinals of this here tournament by a very narrow thread. Now, I'm curious to find out who his opponent in that semifinals is going to be. And yes, Parrish, Mike Awesome is that 80s guy. He really is. WCW had some amazing gimmicks that they dropped on some great professional wrestlers.
As far as wrestling went, Awesome was ahead of his time. He's such a huge man, and he didn't wrestle a big guy style. I don't usually like that, but Awesome was wild, man, and he was just one of those guys that you could tell he lived life on the edge, and it's kind of sad to know how everything turned out eventually. But I love to go and watch his old stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. That 70s guy, Parrish. Is Parrish that 70s guy? Maybe that's going to be his return gimmick, is that 70s guy. He's going to come out with his Led Zeppelin t-shirt and let the lead out. That's going to be the whole new getup for Chris Parrish coming back.
It's got to be a leisure suit like Don Knotts on Three's Company, you know, like the kind of matching polyester thing. That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet, actually. And apparently he watched it in the 80s. Fair enough, Parrish. Fair enough, sir. So yeah, Mike Awesome moving on. I want to find out his opponent, though, because in the next quarterfinal match, we've got Low Ki taking on Jacob Fatu. Want to know who you guys got when it comes down to Low Ki and Jacob Fatu? Papa Smoke's looking your way, sir. What do you got on this one?
Tough to pick, but I think Low Ki's night might be over right here because he's just not nearly as legendary in MLW as the big Samoan Jacob Fatu.
That's fair, but we'll see how the votes go because their first vote in is going to the favor of Low Ki there. So we got a bit of a tie coming in. Chris Parrish is going to go the way of Low Ki. So Low Ki now taking a bit of a stab at the Samoan Werewolf, but Samoan Werewolf's not dead yet. He's Chris Best coming in with a Fatu vote. We got a tie right now. We need a bit of a tiebreaker there. Chat, we're looking your way. Give us a tiebreaker between Jacob Fatu. And there might be that tiebreaker right there. Fatu fighting back with everything he has to earn Mel Ball's vote and move on to the semifinal. Jacob Fatu by a very narrow thread, beating Low Ki and moving on. So we will see in the semifinals Mike Awesome taking on Jacob Fatu. So coming up very shortly. We got to find out the other side of the brackets, though. We got Alex Kane and MJF in a quarterfinal matchup. Who do you guys got? MJF or Bull Maye, Suplex Assassin, Mr. Alex Kane? Papa Smokes, who do you got on this one?
Tough. Always. I want to go with my man Kane, but I feel like MJF's just got all that buzz right now. He's really done so great with his career. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Friedman.
All right. So we got one for MJF from Papa Smokes. And we got Mel Ball, who's on your side there. That means two for MJF. Suddenly, OLE's coming in here showing some love for Alex Kane because of his attachment to our shows here. But Bobby Stats also going Alex Kane, bringing it to a bit of a tie. Then we got Parrish. He's sticking up for our boy Alex Kane. And Chris Best, a lot of love for Alex Kane too. So I believe
what do you know?
That Alex Kane is going to actually conquer the AEW champion and move on to the semifinal matchup. Bull Maye. It's looking like a Bull Maye night here, and it could be a very interesting Bull Maye semifinal, depending on how this next one goes. Suck it, Maxwell. Yeah, he couldn't quite pull it off against the Suplex Assassin here tonight. But who do you guys got when we got Killer Cross taking on our boy Jay Bougie to earn that last spot in the semifinals here of the Viewer's Choice Champion? It's up to you, chat, and it's also up to you, Papa Smokes. Who are you going with on this one?
This is really the WWE fans versus the MLW fans in this one. Well, this will be a tough one. I'm going to go with Jay Bougie.
Fair enough. We got two for Bougie because Parrish went Bougie, Mel went Killer Cross, Bobby went Killer Cross. OLE's going Jay Bougie because he's a friend of the channel. Yeah. And Parrish also mentioned he's a WWE fan, but he's picking Jay Bougie as well, too. Those personal connections help. Chris Pesco with Jay Bougie. It's all things coming up Jay Bougie, as he's going to have to fight the captain of the Bull Maye Fight Club in the semifinals. Jay Bougie moving on. The viewers have spoken, and Bull Maye is lighting up that side of the charts here, Papa Smokes.
He's got to be a bit of a dark horse in this tournament, too. I wouldn't have suspected amongst all the star power and former champs. Wow, congrats to Bougie for going this far.
He could end up going all the way. We'll wait and see. We got two semifinal matches before the final coming up here. So we got your first semifinal match, Mike Awesome versus Jacob Fatu. Who do you guys got? Papa Smokes, who do you got here? I'm really curious to know your answer this time.
I know who I got, but I think I'm going to be on the losing end of this. I'm sticking with my man, Mike Awesome, all the way, baby.
Oh, apparently you got some friends in the chat there that are with you. Chris Parrish is going with Mike Awesome.
Nice.
Bobby going with Mike Awesome. So that's 3 votes now for Mike Awesome over Jacob Fatu. Chat, we need to find out. Oh, we got Awesome for the win there from Chris Best. OLE going with Fatu, though, showing some love for Fatu. Got a bit of a 4-1 here vote. And looks like Melville going to go Fatu as well, too. But unfortunately, it's still not enough. Jacob Fatu's night is going to be over in the semifinals. And Mike Awesome is going to be taking on whoever wins the other side here in our final matchup of the evening. So here it is, semifinals. To decide Mike Awesome's opponent, we've got the Bomaye Fight Club captain, suplex assassin, current MLW heavyweight champion of the world, Alex Kane, and he's taking on Jay Bougie, and already Chris Parrish not even hesitating on this one to go with Jay Bougie right off the hop. Papa Smokes, who do you got in this one?
I'm loving the push from beneath. I'm going with Jay Bougie.
Oh, wow. We got this is a very interesting night so far. So far, that means that we've got 3 for Bougie, 2 for Kane. Anybody else want to get their votes in? Let us know right away. Try to get those votes in immediately. But right now, Jay Bougie looking like he might be the upset champion of the night here tonight. We only got a matter of a few more seconds before I'll close the voting on this one. Voting is coming to a close, and we're officially raising the hand of our boy Jay Bougie as he's moving on to the finals of the Ring Respect Radio Viewers' Choice Championship. This is a huge one, and I get the opportunity to do this, and I haven't done this in weeks, Papa's folks. It's time for your main event of the evening. This match is scheduled for one fall. And it is to determine the first ever Ring Respect Radio Viewers' Choice Championship of the world. On one side, we've got Mr. Mike Awesome. On the other side, we got our boy Jay Bougie. Chat, Papa Smokes, I'm looking your way. Crown your winner.
I stuck with him right from the very first match. I'm sticking with him now. Mike Awesome.
Fair enough. We got OLE with Jay Bougie. We got Chris Parrish with Jay Bougie. So a couple votes there. Bobby with Jay Bougie.
He's
so we got
win.
3-1. We got Best with Mike Awesome.
Yeah.
Basser coming in with Mike Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a split decision at the moment. Parrish say Bougie wants to come back to the show. Damn, we got a tiebreaker here at the moment. Anybody else up in the house? And we got your
BDJ.
Well, I think this is going to end up being the kicker right there, only because I'm not familiar with Bougie. Melball Collins is going to put the spike in the coffin for our boy Jay Bougie and give the victory to the new Ring Respect Radio Viewers' Choice Champion of the world, Mike Awesome. Ooh. What a night, you guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, I never dreamed he was going to win this. I liked it, the idea in my mind, but good God, that's goddamn great.
Awesome. Papa Smokes, chat, let me know, what did you guys think of this? Is this something that we should do more often? Not with MLW people per se, but other opportunities to do other companies as well too, other independent promotions, maybe other different angles as well too, based on certain champions throughout the world, certain things, maybe different territories. I'm curious what you guys think. What would you like to do, Papa Smokes? Do you see this as a regular thing we could do on Ring Respect Radio?
Yeah, I think we could do it again. It's kind of fun, and I like it when we can do stuff with our listeners all together, play a game together, just like Pub Trivia Night is so popular too. I think it's fun. We can play together.
I really agree. Basser saying he couldn't play, but Fuck, it was a fun listen. Do it again. Bobby wanted to know if we would do the MLW Women's Featherweight Division Bracket Tournament. We can do that. I have no problem doing the MLW Featherweight Division. I believe that they've had at least 32 women compete there at least once. So I'm sure we could come up with a list of ones that have competed in MLW at this point. So I think we're good there, Bobby. We will put that on the list of ones to do for sure. And I think we will. I think we will bring this back because it's a great interactive segment. We got Chris Parrish. If I made a bracket for you guys, will you do it? Very possible. Yeah, let us know the bracket, brother. We're always up for people helping us out and showing us what they can bring to the table. So if you got something for us, and hell, Parrish, if you got a bracket for us and we like what we sees, you can join us on that episode of the show. Bobby saying he enjoyed it. Bobby, always glad to have you here. As always, you're a fantastic human being and love having you on these things. Sorry I'm late, but a quick hello, Astrid. You just missed the very end of us crowning the very first Ring Respect Radio Viewers' Choice Champion for the MLW men's roster throughout history. Mike Awesome picking up the win, just narrowly beating Jay Bougie in the final, but it was a great time. Parrish has got 6 weeks off now. So he's got all sorts of things he'd like to get up to in those 6 weeks to help everyone out, I'm sure. So Melba also saying lots of fun, guys. Definitely do it again. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. This was one of those things, just like our quiz show. I was looking for something to do for Ring Respect Radio, and I was stuck, Papa Smokes. I didn't know what the hell to do this week, and suddenly it clicked. And yesterday I got down to the computer and I started hammering out those pictures that we made for the first round matchups. I just went to town trying to get those ready for tonight's program, and we got it done. I think with time I'll jazz it up a little bit too, and I think we can have some more fun with this one. We'll have to do a pro wrestling one again sometime too. That would be fun.
That's a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that there are some podcasts that are fun where we do research and we deep dive into something and talk, and we do all the talking. But like I say, it's fun when we can all play something together.
Yeah, I mean, I love the interaction. That is the best part about it. It's great to be able to talk with all of you in the chat. Speaking of which, if you want to reach out to us here at our local establishment, you'll see that ticker going on down below. We're on all the socials, all the things that you heard about, whether it be that X that we were talking about, Facebooks, the threads, the whatchamacallits, the TikToks. There's all sorts of woozits and whatsits out there, and I'm sure OLE is a part of it. We're also on the YouTube and the Twitch. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that wonderful, crazy stuff. We also got sponsors of the show. They're called Rogue Energy, and you'll see that ticker down below. Is going to send you over to rogueenergy.com if you're looking for an alternative to the everyday average energy drink you can find in the stores. You're looking to take better care of yourself. Maybe you want to lose a little bit of weight going into the new year. You can do that with a no sugar, high in flavor energy alternative from our friends at Rogue Energy using the promo code OLEPODS for 10% off your order. And now, the most expensive part of the show is the super highly expensive Papa Smokes ticker at the bottom of their screen there. Papa Smokes, let the people know where they can find Papa Smokes.
Hey, we got to make the best of. We blew our entire budget on this ticker for Papa Smokes, so we better make the best of it. I can be found on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland known as X at Smokes_Papa. Then on Twitch, I'm at Papa_Smokes_.
Sounds good. I'll get Parrish to set up the raid there, and Papa Smokes. You know what? I'm in a generous mood here tonight. We're gonna send this raid on over to a couple of people who used to go on the air before us on a Thursday night in the form of JPJ and Pluggo, the guys over at Between Two Beards. I think we'll throw the OLE love and the love from the Video Bros over their way here. Set that up there for us, Parrish. But in the meantime and in between time, that is the ticker where you can find Bobby Munson. I am on all those different socials as well as the Twitch and those things. I thought you said, okay, Parrish said, it's not them. Okay, well, it's not them, so we won't be going over to those guys. It's somebody else over on the channel, so we won't be doing that one. Parrish, pick somebody else. You know the list of people that I'm always good with you sending the raids over too. So do that and make sure that you're following me, whether it be on Twitch or checking out all that kind of stuff. We're also on YouTube with Pro Wrestling on Saturdays. You're going to be able to check that out this Saturday afternoon. A new match coming your way featuring myself and Bob and Papa Smokes. Barry Monkey, my man. What's up, brother?
Better late than never.
Yeah, better late than never. And again, with Barry Monkey joining the party right here, right now, I must say that we thank each and every one of you for tuning in, especially Barry Monkey. Yes, Parish Dad Boy Joey sounds like a great raid. Send it on over to Dad Boy Joey. And Barry Monkey, we salute you, adieu, and to the rest of you as well. See you next Thursday night from myself and Papa Smokes. Take care, everybody.